Today's topic is on Monsanto and GMOs and why it is very important that you know everything about these two in order to, if nothing else, just keep them as far away from you and the ones that you love as you possibly can. And if you have time or the desire, do your best to tell everyone else you know about it while you're at it. Because the mainstream media and news outlets are not going to do this for you. I have now official proof from a source in the belly of the beast that confirms what I and most likely you have known for at least a little while now. There is no honest, unbiased, investigative journalism out there, and it never actually existed. There have always been agendas, big or small, that keep the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth from public knowledge. Some very crooked people have a lot invested in the lies that they either created or have decidedly benefited from, and it is the same type of people with the same types of morals that allow this corruption to be created and allow it to not only survive, but to now flourish. So, Monsanto is the largest food and chemical supplier in the world, responsible for biotechnology research that has created genetically modified organisms, GMOs. Monsanto created saccharin, aspartame, dioxin, DDT, growth hormones like RGBH, and herbicides such as Roundup and Agent Orange. Monsanto owns over 90% of the GMOs on the planet, and 90% of Americans consume them every day without their knowledge. President Obama swore to label all GMO foods, stating, quote-unquote, "We'll let folks know whether their food has been genetically modified because Americans should know what they're buying." Most people indicate that if given a choice, they would not choose GM food. Labeling would most likely effectively eliminate it from the food supply. Monsanto claims that the pesticides spliced into their GM foods are, quote-unquote, naturally occurring and thus safe, not acknowledging that the pesticides are 1,000 times more potent than when found in nature. Rats fed a lifetime diet of Monsanto's genetically engineered corn or exposed to the company's popular Roundup herbicide developed tumors and suffered severe organ damage. Animals tested with GMOs within the third generation lost the ability to reproduce and showed immune system responses, signs of toxicity, organ lesions, altered liver and pancreas cells, changed enzyme levels, quote-unquote, etc. The effects of GMOs have never been tested on humans. Monsanto cafeterias carry mostly organic, non-GMO food for their employees. In 1992, Michael Taylor, head of the FDA and former Monsanto lawyer, I might add, approved GMOs onto the public without any studies or oversight, then went back to work for Monsanto as VP for Public Policy. Under President Obama, this same Michael Taylor is currently the U.S. Food Safety Czar. Monsanto regularly engages in illegal business practices and has been prosecuted for purposely placing GM seeds on organic farmland to then take legal action against the organic farmer, eventually stealing his property and destroying the competition, natural, organic, nutrient-rich food that they cannot control. Quote-unquote natural crops and foods are the enemy that need to be defeated via corporate takeover. Monsanto spent millions making sure the Food Safety Act passed, advisedly designed to shut down small family farms and organic food producers. Monsanto wants to make all crops one of its patented seed lines, thereby controlling and owning all of the world's food. Monsanto created the Terminator seed that renders seed lines sterile, necessitating the purchase of new seeds each year, giving the ability to starve whole populations and effectively controlling population or food supply with a built-in kill switch. Monsanto also stated that they want to, quote-unquote, take over the entire biosphere and patent all major forms of life. Monsanto works closely with the U.S. government and the UN to fulfill the depopulation initiatives set forth through Agenda 21, which I talked about in our last video entitled Agenda 21. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have also teamed up with Monsanto to push GMO crops onto Africa and other undesirable third world countries to push infertility. Together with some other contributors and conspirators, they have created global, quote-unquote, doomsday seed vaults, in speculation that after the earth is sufficiently contaminated with GMOs and consequently depopulated to a more controllable and decidedly docile level, natural farms will be restored for the relatively few self-chosen ones whom have allowed themselves the privilege of being survivors of GMO foods by simply not eating it themselves. So there you have it.